Oh yeah, hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Rex or Rexon. I'm one of the runners in this tournament. Um, Glad to be here. It's gonna be a good time. Y'all gonna enjoy this. It's very quick, very fast. It's a lot of interesting tech.
Yeah, it looks like we're just about started. First thing you can notice is they're holding B just to skip all the cutscenes. That's really nice to do, especially in RPGs that have a lot of those. And Tressa, the game actually starts out with everybody in this intro. You don't have to do the intros for any other characters besides your first one, but to be able to know the story and begin chapter 1, you actually have to do this. But it doesn't take too long, just about a minute. And if you see, the green text boxes indicate path actions or story options. Each character has a path option or a path action that you use to continue on. So Tressa's is purchase. Oh yeah, the layout is lagging behind to switch. We'll get that fixed in a second.
Yeah,
There we go.
It looks a lot better now. So Merm, you have the world record for this game. What type of strats do you implement on your route that we might see that might be a little different from what our runners are doing right now?
Well, the first thing that's a mechanic of the game is random encounters. Now, they're not completely random. It's based upon step counts, and for the most part, they're in between a certain range all the time. But you can definitely get shorter ranges, which leads to extra. So just trying to take super tight movements around the areas. There's some places where you're able to reload your step count in order to skip encounters, but in like a super risky PB attempt, you probably wouldn't do those. But I imagine since this is a race, you'll try and be as safe as possible. Oh, and Polo right there almost got the 2 encounter path to the cave. Just a little bit off. Yeah, and one thing that just happened on Jello's screen is he broke the enemy before running away. There's a mechanic in the game, breaking, and you get a free turn basically every time you break, and it's also a guaranteed runaway. So you'll see the runners breaking and then fleeing for most of the battles. So looks like both of the runners got the 3 encounters, so this will be a really tight race going into the first boss fight.
Okay, so right here around Maya Caves, there's going to be an encounter here that they have to actually defeat so they can get to level 2. That way that their HP is high enough to actually deal with the first boss of the game, which is Mick and Mac.
Another thing this encounter helps with is JP, and besides experience, you get JP, which allows you to learn extra skills later on in the road. They'll take that little detour to get the Thunderstone. Yeah. So they both got different encounters here. If you're lucky, you will get a pirate, and since they're asleep, they're 100% runaway rate. But Polo got the crab, so he's gonna have to break first. They're both in the first boss now. Mick and Mac, they're pretty safe, but if you get really unlucky, they can do an absurd amount of damage to you.
Yeah. So they have what I believe is 2 moves called Mutiny and Slice, and those 2 deal a heck of a lot more damage than their regular attacks do.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to, straddle that line of being very risky while trying to maximize your damage is very, very important for this.
Yes. The turn orders can change depending on whether or not you want to heal this turn or next turn. And there's always a little bit of risk that goes into it for a little bit of time save if you want to risk it all. I imagine both of these guys are gonna heal twice during the fight.
There you go. Soul Stones are actually a very important aspect of most Octopath runs. They provide a lot of damage in the early game and makes a lot of the early game bosses very trivial.
Yes, they're very good on damage output, especially for Tressa right now. She's alone, so she can't even attack multiple enemies at once, so the Soul Stone really helps out for that fight.
See, Jello just barely ahead by about maybe 2 seconds. Nah, a little bit more actually.
They're both out of Chapter 1. It's
yeah,
very close still. Which is...
Yeah. And honestly, in this game, anything can really change.
Yeah, there's
one bad turn order.
Yeah, one bad turn order, an extra encounter here or there.
Yeah.
Luckily, at this point, nothing will really like wipe your party out since it's the early game. But later on, it's pretty scary.
Oh, that's
and unfortunate for
slow Jello down.
Gets the fish encounters.
Yeah.
The areas around here, they have danger levels. Right now, the danger level is 1, so you should see really weak enemies at this point. And normally, you wouldn't see 2 enemies in a single encounter.
So yeah, with those 2 failed encounters, it led Polo to, you know, catch up. Jello opts for the break and then the escape instead of just trying to YOLO flee. That YOLO flee would have probably saved him about, what, 5 to 7 seconds?
Yeah, instant runaway turn 1 saves like 5 seconds from breaking. Another option if we can see any of these runners choose to do it, if you run away without breaking but fail, it loses only 1 second from breaking if you still go first on turn 2.
Seems like Polo's stuck with those 2 ants. Same situation as Jello had with the 2 fish heads.
Yeah, this is actually scary. He might die if he didn't run away from that. I think he might want to heal depending on this encounter he gets. He should be fine though.
Yeah, he should be fine with just the frog. Any type of doubled up enemies just makes running away really hard at this stage of the game.
Yeah, especially you can't ever break them. Break only lasts for 1 turn, so you'll never have a guaranteed runaway.
Okay, so now in the story, we're picking up Cyrus. He's our friendly neighborhood magician.
Yeah.
But,
or go ahead.
Oh yeah, but he won't be a magician for too long. Later down the line, we're gonna be changing his job to something a little bit more helpful to us.
Yeah, but he has the first multi-enemy hits now. So turn orders are actually random in this game. Jello got a pretty good turn order where Cyrus goes first. Cyrus and Tressa have about the same speed. I believe Tressa might be like 2 or 3 points faster than Cyrus at this point. But it's a pretty good tell of who's going first, but not always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if Cyrus goes first on these, you can actually defeat the enemy in one turn, which gets you a bonus JP.
Definitely.
And these guys are learning skills finally with the JP. The first skill unlocks at 30 and then 100 later on. Hired help is what Jello just learned and Polo's about to learn right now. It pretty much breaks the single story games. It's super good.
Yeah, I think most of the routes for single story use Tressa because she's the primary damage dealer of like the entire game, basically.
Yeah, not only Tressa, I think all of them also use another merchant, which you can get later on in the game as well.
Ooh, Jello getting that YOLO like 50% collect. Well, it's 51%, but still.
And here you'll see hired help at work. You pay money and you're able to buy different attacks at different levels of money. I think they're called Leaf in this game.
Yeah, leaves. Yeah, they're called leaves.
Add a Cyrus chapter and still very close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one interesting thing to see is if each runner chooses to learn a skill with Cyrus instantly. It's rare that you need it, and Tressa will actually be able to one-shot any encounter from now on with just bandits in the early game.
Right.
But you can save money by just giving Cyrus Lightning Blast.
Alright, so we see Jello doing right now, he's scrutinizing. That's his special ability. So that lets him glean more information about, you know, characters or information that they know. So in this case, he scrutinized the little girl, which sounds very bad on paper, but it allowed him to get a Lightstone M, which we're going to be using for this next encounter, which in my opinion is probably one of the most important encounters in like the whole run.
Definitely agree.
It definitely saves you about a minute if you get the correct encounter.
So earlier we were talking about the JP, and they both have 30 and are able to learn a skill, but there's no real way to get to 100 fast while grinding out these low-level encounters. So they're going to this higher level, or higher danger level forest to the left, and the encounters will die to a Lightstone M. At least most of them will. If you get a super unlucky encounter, you'll have like a super strong enemy that will just defeat you instantly.
Let's see. Okay, so Jello got like the not so great encounter.
Yeah, this is the lowest one.
Yeah, the Froggins, I believe what they're called. Yeah, they only yield about, what, 70-something JP?
In that situation, he got 64. What you want to see is multiple frogs that have helmets. Like, here, Polo got a pretty good encounter. I think he might have 130 right after this. Because this will give 76.
Yep, Jello opting to use the bandits.
So Jello might be a little low on money since he used so many bandits. But here you can see Polo learned 2 skills with Cyrus, which allows you to have a passive skill on, which is Evasive Maneuvers. They both have it on now. Evasive Maneuvers is basically the greatest skill in their whole run. You're able to, I think, almost triple the amount of steps you can walk without encounters.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the like most useful skills that one can learn in this game. Like even in like casual runs, it's really nice to have. Good, no encounters on Flame Grace. very nice. You usually don't get encounters unless you have bad movement.
Yeah, on Western Flames Grace, there is a chance for an encounter, but they can opt to reload an area and able to skip it.
And I believe that's what Jello's gonna do right now. He's going to Hoarfrost Grotto, reset the step counter, and then go
Polo's
back.
risking it all.
Yeah.
It'll be a good payoff if he makes it. Oh,
He does.
close.
Oh, no, he didn't. That was close. That was real close, actually. Yeah, going to Hoarfrost Grotto probably loses about, like, close to 10 seconds, if I recall correctly.
To answer a question in the chat, you need to... This is single story, so you only need to defeat all 4 of Tressa's chapters, and the credits will roll after that. But you're able to pick up different characters and whatnot in order to help you. Jello choosing to scrutinize this soulstone, which I think is a good option. The riskier strat is to get one on the road, but it's a super high level danger level area, and it might lead to an extra encounter. Ooh, encounter for Jello. This is a pretty hard area to get out of without one.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy to get through that part without getting an encounter.
And as we say that, Polo makes it through, which is really
wow.
nice for him.
That's great. Oh man, you don't usually see that too often. You don't really get to get through that area without an encounter, like I said before. But that opportunity that Polo got kind of lets him roar ahead.
Yeah,
and
so
now
Polo's going to be picking up the first job. There's secondary jobs that you can equip on each character. This one is the warrior.
Yep, that's definitely going to be used for Cyrus later on.
Yeah, each job has certain stat upgrades and downgrades that you get. Warrior's a big boost to HP, attack, and defense. So now they're both in Moonstruck Coast, and I believe the danger level was 23 or 28?
I think it's 23 right now.
23. So you're starting to see that from now on, danger levels are so high that if they get an encounter, they're most likely going to be wiped out, so they choose to save and reload the area, which resets the encounter steps.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways in this game to actually reset step encounters. It's like, you know, stepping into a new area, saving and reloading. And there's one more that we implement. We used to implement, actually. It's we go into a mini boss dungeon, and there's a prompt inside the when you are ready to face the mini boss. It says, "Are you ready?" There's an evil aura here. Are you ready to face it? And if you say no, it resets the encounter. We don't exactly know why, but it just does. Back when we were still routing this game in its infancy, we used to go to this place called Everhold. So we used to go through this like super dangerous area, and we go inside the dungeon and we start picking up, you know, certain like, you know, certain items to sell or a lot of money. It was so yeah, so we use that strat. So we use that oh, we're going to face the boss. No, we're not. And then we exit out, and that reset our encounter. So it goes to show how much this game has, you know, grown over the span of a couple months.
Yeah, there was like a 2-week period where someone would bust out a PB and then we'd find something else to make it faster again. I remember when I started running
Interesting.
The best
I didn't know Jello
time
did
was...
that.
I saw what he picked up. What was it?
It was a Thunderstone.
Just a medium or a large?
I think it was a medium. Like, I'm not sure, but the thing is that what we usually do is as soon as we get the Thunderstone large inside a Goldshore, we just exit out, but I guess he just picked that one up.
He might be thinking he's low on money.
Yeah.
Oh, he is still getting this Windstone. Okay, he's gonna reload the area. That makes sense.
Alright. Yeah, yeah, he did grab the extra medium Thunderstone.
Yeah, he was pretty low on money, so he might have had that in mind instead of purchasing one later on.
I mean, but Jello did say that he had a specific strat in mind for this route, so I think we might be seeing that right now in action.
Yeah, but this is a pretty scary area. East Grand Port Coast.
Yeah, your usual encounter for this would be birds, like giant squawking birds.
Yeah, this is a set encounter area where the first encounter you see will always be 2 large birds, and since you only have 2 party members, they will just defeat you one turn.
Mm-hmm. You can try escaping, but the odds are just so low. They're ridiculously low. I mean, I've done it once on stream, but never again after that.
Yeah, if you get insanely lucky, you might even find, instead of 2 birds, 1 bird and a chubby Kate. None of them ended up seeing Kates in this run, so I can go ahead and explain it really quickly. Kates are these super rare enemies that have very high evasion stats for physical attacks. And if you defeat them, they give a ton of experience, money, JP. And if you see a chubby Kate, there's an alternate strat where you spend 30,000 leaves on an attack to hopefully kill it. It's not a guaranteed kill, but it'll net you 30 extra thousand leaves, which saves a whole bunch of time throughout the route. Yeah, this detour, there's so many good items and money that you get on the way to Grandport. And it also is super convenient that Grandport is an area that we have to come back later in the game. So doing this detour now helps us speed up the middle game. And we were talking earlier about how important soul stones are. I think they stocked up on 3 large soul stones. Jello scrutinizes the dog.
Okay.
But I think they each have 3 large soul stones and 3 medium soul stones right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which will make quick work of the remaining Chapter 1 bosses.
Right. So right now we just picked up Honnet, which is our 3rd party member. She is a hunter, but she will not be a hunter. She'll actually end up being our 2nd merchant for this game. Let's see. You can usually avoid an encounter in the Whisperwood.
Polo gets it.
Yeah, Polo got it easy.
It's pretty tight, honestly. Usually movement's not a super big factor in that area. If you get unlucky, you'll just get the encounter. Polo entering the first, Gisarma first.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jello gets the encounter.
Alright, so here we would have wanted Tressa to go first. We would have used hired help to hit with... Ooh, okay. Yeah, we would have used hired help to use Merchant, which boosts our defense for about 2 turns.
This will still be a pretty good fight if Honnet can hit 4 Rain of Arrows. Ooh, he accidentally does fire.
Oh no. Let's see.
He'll be fine. It'll just take an extra turn.
Yeah. Mercenary. Alright. Use Mercenary, boosts his defense for about 2 turns. Attack.
Ooh, and Jello gets a really nice pattern for Rampage.
He definitely does. It's very good. And now what Polo's going to be doing is just basically like spamming Soul Stones to defeat Gisarma.
Jello gets a really good fight. If he got a luckier turn order on the final turn, he would be able to use Collect on Tressa. He could go for it now. Chooses not to, but if he went for it there, the percentage on Collect would have been probably around 30 or 40% only.
So Polo gets out relatively unscathed, even though with that less than optimal turn order. So now after this, we're going to be on our way to pick up our final member, the lovable thief Therian.
Yeah, Therian actually has the same path action as Tressa. The only difference is instead of purchasing, he steals, so you get it for free. But
who
there's
doesn't like free things?
Yeah, there's four characters. I believe they're called noble and rogue characters, but their path actions basically do the same thing. But the difference is for noble characters, you usually have to be a certain level in order to use it on certain NPCs. And with the rogue characters, you can always do it on any NPC, but there will be a percentage chance only. And the lower level you are, the lower it will be. So they both get that encounter. They're just about even going into Therian.
Yeah. If you noticed before, Polo was a good chunk ahead, but that encounter kind of slowed him down. So it just goes to show you how much those encounters mean in the overall run. It can definitely slow you down. It can definitely speed you up if everything goes right.
So little things I've noticed about Polo's route so far. It seems like he's not doing the super up-to-date route that was finished about a week ago. So I'm wondering what strategy he'll use to fight Heathcote. I believe Jello's has the Soul Stones to use 2 Soul Stone Largest and kill Heathcote on turn 1. But I don't know what Polo will be doing.
I'm wondering if they're going to be implementing safe strats and just auto-saving and reloading Ravis Manor.
Yeah, auto-saving. Okay, Polo does it.
Okay, Polo does it.
Jello goes.
Oh no, Jello ain't doing. He's rolling hard.
It's possible I've made it once through to the boss fight without an encounter.
Oh man, this is close. Ooh man.
Running away instantly saves a little bit of time, probably like 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, Jello's going for the break though. So Jello is pretty low on money. He's used a lot of bandits throughout the run so far. Each is 800.
So as you can see, Polo managed to get there.
Yeah, and he does use the double soul stones.
Yeah, double stun. Okay. Contrary to what people might think, this is still a very, very close race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing I should mention right now is it's really nice when Tressa gets to use Soulstone Larges. Just like how Cyrus had the passive ability that he equipped, which is evasive maneuvers, Tressa also has one called Endless Items. And basically, there's a 25% chance that you get to reuse the item. You just get another one for free. Similar to freebies and SMRPG. When Polo makes it past Boulder Fall, this is a pretty tight area. If you have super tight movement, I think it's almost guaranteed. They both get it. Nice.
Very good.
But definitely sometimes, if you get unlucky as well, you'll get strong enemies. The danger level is 17 right now.
Yeah. Granted, it's less than when we were in, you know, Grand Port and Moonstruck Cove, but still, it's kind of still dicey to kind of try to deal with stuff.
Yeah, and it might honestly even be worse because it is a low chance of running away, but they don't instantly defeat you in this area, so you might just be stuck there for super long.
Mm-hmm. They can definitely take up a lot of time. Yeah.
I'm gonna stock up on a few quick soul stones before the next boss fight. But we got the big detour out of the way already. Luckily for Tressa, there's only one, and you have to go there anyways. So at this point, it's just completing her final chapters already.
Yeah, everyone has basically everything that they need to like start finishing up the game. It's just encounters and optimal menus and just good luck, basically. A lot of this game is based off like RNG. It's based off like good encounters. But it's definitely a lot of fun. I really enjoy the speedrunning this game.
Yeah. And it's a great RPG to speedrun because it's so short. Just about an hour for all the categories is really nice.
Right. Also, there's two other categories that we're still building up. All main stories, which is basically, you know, running through all the character stories. And Galdera, which is like basically the big bad boss. Those categories are actually quite short for RPG standards. AMS is like what, maybe like 4 hours, and
yeah,
like Galdera is like about 5 hours.
Yeah, Jello actually is the current world record holder by a decent amount. I think his time is
4:35, I think, or 4:32.
Well, he got sub 4:30 the other day. It might be like a 4:24, I think.
That's goodness. Oh, Jello going in for the YOLO. And
nice. Yeah, every extra save and reload takes about 25 seconds. Only about... Oh, wow, Jello going for this. I didn't see what item that was. I think it might have been some...
Is that a large? Was that a large stone? I don't...
I thought I saw a helmet somewhere.
I didn't either. The thing is that Jello's, yeah, he's definitely deviating from the route. Okay, so assuming he's gonna
gets the encounter. A Soulstone Large will defeat these enemies. Polo chooses to just save.
Oh, it's a Palm M.
It was a Pomegranate M.
Extra Pomegranate M. Interesting. I might actually do that. I usually tend to use the Palm later down.
Jello goes back for the helmet after he picked it up.
He's like, I gotta be sure I got the hasty helm.
Yeah, but the boss of this area, we have a pretty big setup right here. We equip the hasty helmet onto Cyrus, give him insight and 1,000 spears. On it, leg hold, and she becomes merchant. Another hired help.
You get a hired help.
And then Therian armor
And
corrosive.
that's
Did Jello save before that? I don't think he did.
No, he did not.
This
That's
boss
kind of scary.
could take a while if you get a bad
Okay.
turn order.
So for
This is a pretty bad turn order, honestly.
yeah, it is.
As long as Therian and Tressa survive. Ooh, nice. He gets the 2 soul stones off still. He should be fine.
It's that was really scary, but he got it. So I guess he has to use Haunted to like revive.
Like
Or
Hold Trap.
there's like Hold Trap. Interesting.
So one of the merchants can break him right now.
Yeah. So that'll be Haunted. Therian uses.
Oh, perfect as well. Polo doesn't get Violent Slash. When you use Soulstone Large, his little goons that comes with, they have a chance to using Violent Slash, which will probably wipe out your whole party. But both of them got pretty good orders.
Generous to mark, I would say.
They should be fine.
There it is.
Right, hopefully Tressa breaks right here. Okay. Oh no! Polo doesn't get Armored Corrosive off. This is gonna be tough.
Gonna be pretty bad. Alright, so we see Jello now going back to Boulder Fall and going up to back to Soraki, which is where we got Hanet, but we're going to be taking the northern path and we're going to Victor's Hollow, which will be Tressa's chapter 3.
Yeah, one thing Polo could do is he can use Hired Help Veterans again, which is an extra 30,000. But he could just pick up money anywhere, but looks like he's going for the break again.
Jello opting to skip the Hunter Shrine.
Yeah, Hunter is a super safe alternate strat for the final boss.
Right. But going into the shrine and getting the getting the job actually takes about maybe just short of a minute. See Polo here still grinding out Omar. In my personal opinion, Omar is the worst boss.
Yeah,
Absolutely
he's
the worst.
super annoying. If you get a bad turn order, you're pretty much dead.
But props to Polo for still grinding out this Omar specifically. Usually what Omar would do is out of a break, and if he has the chance, he would just sweep, and then he would just wipe everybody out. Polo thinking that he could collect on Omar.
Yeah, not having Armor Corrosive, I think Armor Corrosive might be a 1.5 boost almost to damage.
Mm-hmm.
So Polo missed out on like over 10,000 damage. Yeah, I don't know how he's. You're right, he died, but I don't know how he's gonna make this up. Jello's gonna have to really get a bunch of encounters or some bad boss
He
fights.
either has to mess up the YOLO encounters if he attempts them, or he's gonna have to beef it real hard on the final boss. Granted, the final boss, Esmeralda, turn order for her is like pretty weird. You
Polo
would
going for this again. Oh, and he gets Violent Slash.
Oh no, this is super unfortunate.
Yeah.
Polo just has to hope for the either Omar being between one person or another, because that's pretty okay. or having 2 people between them.
Yeah, just having 2 people. This is the worst turn order.
Yeah, that is the worst.
He chooses to defend, which is really smart, I think. Hopefully, Omar attacks Tressa. No.
No. Okay, so he has to stay there and heal.
He gets endless items, which is good. I think he might be able to save this.
Mm-hmm. With that endless items proc, it's pretty impressive to, you know, get rid of all of them and just hope. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so what we got Jello doing right now, he's in, like, the caves right next to Victor's Hollow, and he's going up against Venom Tooth Tiger, and he's going for the safety save.
Oh, so close. I thought he was in.
I thought he got it, honestly. I think he might have been like a couple pixels away from actually triggering the cutscene.
Mm-hmm. But Polo's getting this fight off. He wins this fight after a Soulstone medium. But Venom Tooth itself is basically a scripted fight.
Yeah, there's not too much that can happen in that fight.
Yeah, the only real thing that could go wrong is if you get a bad turn order and you have to have like 2 characters just attack for 2 damage.
One bad thing that can happen is Haunted doing a rain of arrows that hits all 6, I believe.
Ooh, yes. All 6, you can still win the fight, but you'll have to pick up extra money somewhere.
Yeah. Contrary to what one might believe in this game, hitting all 6 arrows and breaking them immediately is not usually the best thing that can happen.
You are guaranteed to hit 3 on the multi-hit attacks, like 1,000 spears, rain of arrows. And Jello does get the bad turn order that I was just talking about. That's a side effect of giving Cyrus the hasty helmet. He's more likely to go first. But you really want merchants to go first on this, because you get 1 collect off and then the next one can finish it off.
1 collect, and after that we use the Shadow Soulstone that we pick up at the Forest of No Return or something like that?
Yeah, Forest of No Return. Polo's starting his chapter 3 right now.
Yeah. So now we see an actual, you know, legitimate gap between the runners now.
It's possible, but Esmeralda would need super, like, he would need super bad turn orders on Esmeralda on multiple fights, I think.
Yeah.
There's probably about a 3 to 4 minute gap right now.
Definitely can still make it up. Esmeralda can definitely be a very rude lady. Interesting. What's Polo doing? Oh, okay. So I guess he opts to skip the Shadow Stun.
He did get the endless items.
No, he did get the endless items rock. Okay, that saves a couple seconds. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So what?
Or go ahead.
Yeah. So what Jello's doing right now, he's selling pretty much like the majority of the items that he has. We need to have about 88,000 leaves by the time we enter the dungeon of the final boss, basically. So what Tressa has as her, like, I guess static ability is Eye for Money. So whenever she enters an area, she picks up a certain amount of leaves per, you know, like per area like entered or something like that. It varies by level and by area. So for the first time that we went into Grantport, we entered and we got 3,248, if I recall correctly. I think that's the exact number. And then we exited out and we went into the lock where we picked up the 30,000 and the Wind Soul stuff. And then we went back, and then going back, we picked up an extra 2,000. So that's what she does as her static ability. So when we're entering the sewer, we're going to pick up an extra 2,000, and that'll put us at 90,000, which is enough to get our veteran soldiers out. But we do need to collect on Esmeralda. We do take the time to do that. Jello goes in and he picks up the extra soul stone for safety. And he's going on the other side. I don't know what he's doing. I think he might be picking up another item. Oh, no. That's interesting. Oh, he's picking up that item right there. I think that was a wind soul stone, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so Merm, what are we looking at in terms of an optimal fight for Esmeralda?
So Cyrus has the hasty helmet, so hopefully he goes first and breaks with 1,000 spears. Esmeralda only has 4 shield. Oh, he gets Cyrus.
Oh. Sometimes...
Alright, he gets it.
Okay, it's...
Yeah, so the fight is basically guaranteed right now. He would have to miss multiple attacks at this point. But this is a perfect fight for Esmeralda. Use Insight on Cyrus, so when Esmeralda breaks out, she defeats him and only him.
Yeah, I believe what usually what she does when she comes out of her break state, there's a prompt that says she shifts her weight and then she uses 5 strikes. So those 5 strikes will hit random people and it will basically wipe out the party. But since Cyrus used Insight, it directs all 5 hits to him to let everyone live. At this point, you don't have to revive Cyrus at all. It's pretty much a done deal.
And on this next turn, ooh, I wasn't watching, but something bad happened to Polo. He died on Venom Tooth Tiger.
He probably got the 6 hit, the 6 bow. That's. Oh.
Oh, he did not learn a skill, maybe?
That's a shame. And Jello, Jello goes through this with pretty relative ease. Oh no, did he get an encounter? Polo.
He gets another encounter. It's very unlucky to not even make it to the save point to reload. Yeah, and these guys are the scariest enemies, the elementals.
Yeah. At this point, you just hope for a lightning bolt and it hits everybody and you get a wipe very quickly.
And Jello finishes with a 48-29, so congrats to him.
It's a very, very, very good time. Anything below, sub 50 minutes.
Polo is very insistent on not getting that save. He hasn't made it 3 times in a row, though. Oh, he gets away, though.
Oh, wow. That's that's excellent. That was really good on his part. Yeah, that was a very, very good escape.
Okay. Armor corrosive. So just needs Rain of Arrows, defend, and then donate BP.
I always get nervous when Hunnit hits more than 4 on a Rain of Arrows. Like my stomach drops, feeling like, oh no, this is gonna hit 6 times, isn't it?
Oh, he doesn't have hired help again. He didn't save
no.
after the reload.
Yeah, no. So he had to do the menu all over again. He could probably delegate to Tressa to do it, and then have Hana do the collect. Three. Doesn't steal anything.
Yeah, this fight's gonna be a lost cause.
Yeah.
Venom Tooth will most likely kill in these next turns, and he has a much more shield on this one.
Yeah, sweep. No. That's rough. Polo has to teach hired help like right now.
Yeah, this is one thing where
Alright. I think Polo might be calling it.
if he wants to continue.
Yeah.
No, he has a
No,
timer.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
well.
reset the timer. He forfeited. But yeah, this game is it can be very, very cruel. It can be very relentless in giving you just bad luck and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he decided to learn leg holds for Omar, but since he did that, he would have had to teach hired help before Venom Tooth Tiger, which probably messed him up in his menus. On Jello's side, though, the credits, normally they have pictures of every single boss fight you do, but
Yeah,
I think we only did 7. So all these credits are empty.
Yeah. If you do like all main stories or Galdera, you see like this litany of like, you know, fights and stuff like that. But yeah, but good work to both Polo and Jello. They did tremendous jobs showcasing what we do as the Octopath community, and this is just one of like 8 like just one of like 8 different types of runs. But you'll be seeing a lot more of this. We still have a couple more rounds to get through.
Yeah, this was only the first match of, I believe,
4.
It's a single elimination tourney with 9 entrants, I think.
So it'll be 4 rounds, I believe. 2, 4, 6 ish. Yeah, I guess. I think it's 5 because someone has to face our boy Murmilio here.
One thing I do like about Octopath is there is RNG in it, but I don't think anything's too bad. Like you're most likely not gonna die twice to any one thing. So like it's always a toss up in who's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, a lot of the race was very back and forth. Polo was ahead by a couple of seconds. Jello was ahead by a couple seconds. But if you notice, it was that one specific boss that really put a dent in any type of lead or anything like that. So it does come down to a lot of things, but a lot of it is RNG dependent.
And Jello going for a lot of YOLO strats at the end. No saves before any of the bosses.
That was impressive, actually. Like, I'd be pretty nervous. But yeah, when's our next match?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 3:30.
I don't know
time.
who's against each other tomorrow though.
I don't either. I think my match is like later on. It's like on a Saturday. Alright, it's Cad versus Dahlia.
Cad versus Dahlia. They have very close PBs, so that should be a close race.
It'll be 4 p.m. Oh, okay. So it's gonna be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's our next match. So yeah. I think that's it, right?
Mm-hmm. I think we'll let the credits roll. They're just about to finish.
Yep. "14 seconds. Wow. There's only 14 seconds between their PBs. But yeah, if anyone is interested in learning how to like do this run, and if you guys like what you saw, please feel free. We got a Discord, or you can hop on one of our streams and ask what's up.
Yeah, and to give a little insight on Jello's run, he got a 48, and the current record is 45-55. So being that close is pretty good on a no resets.
Steal from the dog. Oh my goodness, he actually did it. That's funny. Oh no, he's scrutinizing the dog. That's funny.
Okay, we're gonna try and get Jello in here, try and get him an interview on his thoughts on the run. How's it going, Jello?
It's going all right.
So, any thoughts on the run? Polo ended up having a pretty bad Omar, and some other stuff happened. He ended up forfeiting. But how did you think yours went?
Wait, what'd you say?
How do you think your run went? Polo ended up forfeiting.
It went pretty well. Like, I pretty much took every single safe strat I could think of. I even grabbed the Palm M. I grabbed like 2 extra soul stands.
You didn't save before any of the fights.
So grabbing the Palm M and grabbing those 2 soul stands, I think guarantees you can do Esme with like as little as like 12 vets. So it's like pretty consistent if you just grab all that stuff. And the Palm M lets you do a 3rd break pretty consistently if you have to. So it's like I know like on Esme I'm like 90-95% success even if it's bad turn order. And then Omar, like I've literally game over to him like once ever. So it's just like
I don't know, I call that lucky, buddy.
Yeah, I'm calling him lucky too. I don't think it's like skill or anything because it's just turn order.
Polo had some like rough stuff over in Omar.
Yeah. Any strategies you changed from PB to this race format besides grabbing extra?
I think the only strat I used extra in this that I didn't use in my PB was grabbing the soul stones before Esme.
Right.
So like my 47, 05, 06 or whatever, that's using like all of those like 2 minutes worth of safe strats.
Perfect. Well, I think that's going to be it for us. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
GG's to Polo. That was really close from what I heard. I had it up and in the background. I wasn't really paying attention.
But like I said before, if you guys are interested in running this game, we do have a Discord. You guys can hop on any one of our streams that are like as you see right now. You can just hop on and ask for a Discord or ask questions and whatnot. So we still have a lot more tournament to go, so you'll be seeing a lot more of us.
Yep, and that's it for us. So thanks for watching, everybody. More tournaments coming soon.